Now we need to place windows down in our lower level here. In particular, we need to place a window in our bedroom area, which is right in this spot here. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to come up to our window tool and select on window. Now you'll notice that there's really only one size window that we have available to us. It's a rather large 36 by 72 window, and it happens to be the perfect size to allow for what's called egress out of our bedroom area down here. Now what egress is it's the ability to be able to get out of your window in case there's a fire or some sort of emergency. And you need to have enough space to be able to crawl through your window in order to be able to get out of your building. And it's actually code in most locations. Now I'm going to place this window against this wall, roughly right about here. But we're still probably going to need to make a little bit of an adjustment to it because I'd like it to be 6 feet off the edge of this wall right here. So I'm going to select on this, click on this little dot, bring it over, and I'm just going to type in 6 foot and bring it back. So now that's 6 foot off the edge of the building. And also this is going to be pretty much centered underneath a deck that we're going to have built off the back end of the structure. Next, I'm going to zoom out, take a little bit better look at our building. And now I'm going to come up to the first floor and add some windows. Now we're going to have a window that's going to be right here. It's going to be in the kitchen area. And it's going to be pretty close to centered to this walkway we're going to have in the kitchen. Also, there's going to be 3 windows down here inside of our master bedroom or our bedroom 1 area. There'll be 3 windows here looking into our great room space. There'll also be 3 windows here lighting up the back side of our great room space, our dining room area here, as well as the staircase that's ultimately going to be drawn in this location. So I'm going to start by dropping in a window. And I'm going to zoom in this area right here, and I'm going to try to place the window so it's kind of where it needs to be, but I won't really know until I can click where it's going to go. I know that this needs to be 17 feet 4 off of the structural edge here to the center of where this window is going to be at. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to select on the window. Next, I'm going to click on this little dot here, and I have 2 choices. I can either pull it to the end like this, or I can just click on that little dot and it'll go to all the different spots it can grab onto that wall. You can see the same thing works. I want to get it to the center of the window. So I'm going to select on the 17 foot 8 dimension, and I'm going to change this to be 17 foot 4. That puts it in the space roughly where I'd like it to be at, and it should look good when we walk in. Next, I'm going to have 3 windows down here. Once again, the temporary dimensions aren't an exact location that I need them to be in. There's really no way for me to adjust that, but that's okay. We'll just place the window in and adjust after the fact. And this needs to be 4 foot 7 off the structural edge of this wall here. So once again, I'm just going to select on the window. I'm going to click on the little dots here. You can see how the dimension automatically places itself in the right location after clicking on those dots. And I can type in 4 foot 7 inches. Next, I'm going to copy this window over 2 times. What this is going to allow us to do is that we'll be able to have each of these windows 3 foot 5 inches apart from one another. By the way, make sure the check mark is here in the multiple box. This will allow us to use the copy command more than one time. Now, the thing about this 3 foot 5 inch dimension is that it makes it so it's a structurally sound A, wall, and B, condition between each of the windows. There's enough room to be able to put your 2x4 construction in here and be able to brace those windows and support the wall up above. Now that we have 3 windows, each of them 3 foot 5 inches apart, we're going to have the exact same condition right over here at the front of our building. So I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to execute the window command again. And I'm just going to place this in the rough location where I'd want it to be at, somewhere in here. Now that I've done that, I'm going to select back on the window, and this time I'm going to want it to be 4 foot 5 inches off of the structural part of this wall. By clicking on the little dot, you can see that I was able to get it to that location, and I'm going to change this to be 4 foot 5. Now I can select on the window again, use the copy command, and copy it over twice, 3 foot 5 inches. Going to do the same process one more time up here in this corner. And these windows are going to help light this space, and it's just going to be flooded with light because ultimately we're going to have some atrium windows here in the back with a nice lookout of whatever we have here in our backyard area. We'll start off by selecting a window, moving this down, and this window is going to be 5'4" off the corner, so it really needs to be down about where I'm showing it right here. I'm going to select on this window. Now I'm noticing that the glass is on the inside of the space, and I'd rather this glass would be on this side. So I'm just going to click on the little double arrows here to flip it to the other side. So now the exterior of the window is on the outside of our building. I'm going to click on this dot to get it to the right location. And this time this is going to be a 5'4" dimension. Select back on the window again. Use the copy command. 3'5" and 3'5". Now, even though this all has looked two-dimensional up to this point, let's take a look at this in a 3D view so we have a better idea of what we've drawn up till now. So, clicked on the little 3D house here, and if we spin it around, we can start to see our doors. You can start to see why I chose those dimensions, because now we have the doors and windows lined up over the top of each other here. We can see through the windows, and we can see three-dimensionally how our building is going to look up to this point. By doing these steps, you'll realize it's really easy to just place these windows in and then move them later to the right locations.